So the past 2 weeks have not been what I would call a good time. They've been quite stressful, and I think in order to understand everything, I have to start at the beginning. So today I wanted to tell you about my best friend in London, Charlotte. So Charlotte and I met after the first lockdown. We were each other's rock for the whole pandemic, basically. After the first lockdown, we both were in London. She's from Lancashire. She's 31 years old, 32 years old. She's from Lancashire. She lived in Australia and New Zealand, and now she moved to London. And during the pandemic, she didn't have anyone nearby, and either did I. So I guess what that means, what I'm trying to, we were each other's bubble, basically. So you were allowed to visit one other household. I think that was the rule. And we were each other's household. We played games together every single Friday, descending into madness and getting more and more complicated games just to feel something during the pandemic. She has a New Zealand partner. He's lovely. They would cook for us every week. We had, what I guess I'm trying to explain is we had a very accelerated friendship. It's only 2 years, but it feels like 5 because those 2 years were quite a lot. You may have seen her in some videos. We did the road trip around Ireland together. And at Christmas, she went and eloped. She got married. She, at the 28th of December, managed to go to Antigua and get married and eloped. And obviously you can see she's stunning, and so is her partner, and they make such a lovely, lovely couple. And that was in December the 28th. It's important to note that both of us never got COVID, probably because we're only seeing each other. And then she got COVID in March, I think it was, yeah. End of March, early April. She got diagnosed with COVID. It was a pretty standard COVID experience for her in terms of, just cold and flu. And then after she got better, she had really persistent headaches. And she doesn't complain. She is northern. She's, doesn't like making a fuss, she's very funny. She's so empathetic. Such a nice, she has so many friends and family and supportive family, because of who she is as a person. And she ignored it. She went to the doctor after 1 week of having really bad headaches and sensitive to the light. That GP told her, she started crying, and she's not a particularly emotionally person. And that GP told her to go home and reduce stress. That felt so 1920s, let's give women heroin because they're going through menopause type of medicating. So she went home for another week, tried a few things, nothing was working, the headaches were getting worse. Then she went back to the doctor and said it's still bad. And so then they said, okay, well, we're gonna send you for a CT scan, but if you have any issues with your vision, go straight to the A&E. And so on Tuesday, I think it was April 6th, she was at home and she started getting weird flashes behind her, like someone was standing there. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna go to A&E. And she walked to A&E, got there, the queue was insane. There was a woman having a miscarriage. There was all these people, injured, and she just felt that that she was overreacting and these people needed more help than she did, and she felt bad taking up a queue space. So she went home. And then when she got back home, she was having trouble walking. She had limited movement in her left leg, and her left arm wasn't extending properly. It felt like it was in a sling. And then fortunately she had a friend with her, a different friend at this point, and they said, what the hell are you doing? Go straight back to A&E. And so she did, and she went to A&E, and they did an emergency CT scan, and they found quite a big tumour in the right side of her brain, in the frontal lobe of her right brain. They said it's likely aggressive because of how fast it's been onset. So that's how she found out she had brain cancer. Now, she messaged me, literally, because she's so direct and to the point, she just said, literally, there's no easy way to say this, I have brain cancer, and sent me all of her notes on everything. And in the same breath said, can you take care of Jane? Can you support James, her partner? So that just shows you like the kind of person she is, that she was going through this life-altering, life-shaking, moment, and she was already thinking about other people. Can you support this person? Can you do this? Not worrying about herself. And I was like, obviously I would. Secondly, I need to support you. You're the one going through this. And so she ended up getting transferred to a specialist hospital. She's very fortunate that she's young and in London, where we have like specialist surgeons and specialist hospitals for this type of thing. If it happened in New Zealand, they don't even have a neurology hospital. And so then they biopsied it on the Thursday, and she was just drugged out of her mind on steroids for basically a week. And what she's telling me, she can't even remember it really. And then a weekend passes, she gets the biopsy results back, and it is malignant, and it is a grade 3. All she keeps saying is don't Google it, and I agree, don't Google it if you are, not, I think saying that makes me want to Google it though. Basically, the reason statistics aren't great is that the average age of getting a brain tumor is like 70. So you already have a lot of people who aren't living 10 years past 70 at the best of times, particularly if there's comorbidities. So the percentage, the survival rates are not accurate for like the age. So just, she has taken it so well. She keeps saying that cancer needs to be more afraid of her than she is of it, because she's going to cure it. She wants to start a podcast called No Sense of Tumor, and just document her experience. There is a Instagram, should you feel so inclined to follow along if you're invested at this point. And then the reason I wanted to make this video was because Charlotte is such a beautiful soul and nice person and thinks of everyone else. The second she got diagnosed, like the second they had a CT scan, she went and made a GoFundMe because she wanted to raise money, because she felt that was the only way she could really help everything. So I'm gonna link the GoFundMe. Charlotte is, she's in no way famous. She has worked, just corporate jobs. She's moved country to country. She's got friends. But I think it's been a week since I'm making this video, because I wanted to have everything before I told you, and maybe explain why I haven't been around, because it's obviously not to make it about me at all, but my brain has been quite stressed, understandably. Anyways, she has raised £20,000, and she's just like an everyday person. So I was thinking, I have this beautiful community, and I thought if any of you could share could either share her GoFundMe link, or spare any cash, £10 from whoever watches this video would be a groundbreaking amount of money for her charity. Her goal is to get to £50,000, and I think we can definitely do that for her. So I'm asking for your help, either in sharing it if you have no cash, or sharing your cash if you have cash. But yeah, I just think it's incredible that someone, that goes to show you how special she is, that she's been managed to say to raise £20,000 as like an average person, with no social media presence or anything like that. But yeah, so she has by the time you've watched this, she will have had surgery. She's having a good portion of it cut out, and then she's going to start doing chemo or radiation. I don't know, they haven't figured it all out yet, but that will be probably her plan. I encourage you to share, if you have any money, share the link. You can go follow her Instagram page for just this journey called No Sense of Tumor. I will put it down. And that way, if she does make a podcast about this, you'll be right there in the know. She's just taking it so incredibly well. I would be an absolute mess, and she's just already turned something so incredibly awful to have like a better outcome for society, you know. Cancer Research UK, or whoever she donates it to, is already going to be £20,000 richer because of her. That's insane. I think also a portion of the money she wants to treat the nurses on the neuro ward to something special, either a night out or something, just because we all know nurses are underpaid and they're the backbone of society. She had one of the nurses like braiding her hair over her like biopsy mark, and just brushing her hair for her and like telling her everything was going to be okay. So just treat them to something nice, and then give basically everything else, which would be most of it, because it's £20,000. Like, how nice a night out are you going to get? And then all of it to a cancer charity. Thank you for watching to this point, if you're still here. Thank you for understanding my situation in terms of, because for a minute we thought she might have to move in with us because she couldn't walk upstairs, but she's had very good progress with her physio, so she can walk up and down stairs, which means she can get into her flat. But yes, for a minute there we were prepping our house to have an extra bedroom downstairs, so that was mildly stressful as well. So sorry I've been absent. I'm sure you'll completely understand. I have no doubts, and thank you for watching, and thank you for any contribution, whether it's sharing links or sharing any money, if you have any. Yeah, post the GoFundMe link on your Facebook if you can't, or do both. Why limit yourself? But yes, thank you for your time. I think I'm just gonna leave this as like a one take. But yeah, you've been always super supportive and understanding of me, so I expect nothing else for Charlotte. So she's incredibly special, so I think I want to treat her to something special, and I think fundraising is the thing that she like wants more than anything, other than obviously a cure for cancer. But yeah, so thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for donating, for those of you who do. It means the world. And fuck cancer. Peace out, guys.